Well, I'm back. This is the third part to this anthology chronicle series, where it encompasses multiple people, including myself from the beginning. And you would think with this Breakfast Club or Breakfast Fraud, I call it, interview we did, we're talking about the most recent one, but nope. This is from what time? The Root, July 5th, 2017. And I'm not gonna play it because you already know the stupid nonsense he talks about. Then he starts begging for donations as usual, getting a Cash App, getting a PayPal. We got a GoFundMe going, uh, money orders, personal checks. I actually read books studying information from YouTube videos with ominous music features symbols of the third eye. Yeah. Since they never heard of the guy. Like, same thing with me, probably like what, a couple years back. Like before 2019, I ain't knew who the hell he was. You know about this. That was Shoemaker's claim. He said it said ain't say he ain't renew his PhD like his license is like his plate's expired. Oh boy. Family Judge has received numerous inquiries about Umar Johnson's question his relationship with Fred Douglass. There have been questions about his legitimacy of his PhD and handling of the donations he received for school he's promoting. You can tell with 100% certainty he's not a descendant. Not to bill himself a descendant, but he doesn't. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. No, this is another funny one. You know how much of a fucking con artist the fucking scammer is, man. It is, right? Running out the middle. Yeah, we all remember this. He got eviscerated on the Roland Martin show. Yeah, go back to it. That was funny. Old coon and 7 running a shining match. This mother's lie was reconciled. He's a lie. I remember that. Oh, we can play that. Hold on. We gotta play that. That shit is funny. I'm sorry. That shit funny. I know they got that.
Running around this intellectually masturbating old ass information.
That's him.
Like Papa Smurf. That Papa Smurf shit ain't gonna get us nowhere.
Here you go.
That Papa Smurf shit ain't gonna get us nowhere. You feel me? Yeah.
Yeah, I got this.
Nah, I got this. That Papa Smurf thing ain't gonna work. You feel me? Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this.
Oh.
Don't.
Okay. See, yeah, went to Millersville. I already said that, but it's like much earlier than what was like specified in the personal information you pull up on them and go to one of those personal information retrieval citizen websites. So here it is, right here. Okay, you see, issuance date. Again, he has not been a school administrator for 20 years whatsoever. Hasn't been in the field actually to exercise that occupational expertise in the first place or duties at all. Hasn't taught in the classroom, period. And it's valid for 5 years of service, valid. You heard it. This was at that time from when he got it. And he has not kept up in continuing education since 2010 for any of that. This is that's when they did it. Like in 2017. They said because placed employment, no employment record on file as a potential status. I have since the issuance date. I don't know about that. I remember that. He said take a lazy ass to the post office and get a stamp. I remember that.
Still, we doing okay. PayPal sabotaged this, y'all. Let me tell y'all PayPal sabotaged. I called PayPal before I started using PayPal for the school fundraising. And I didn't want to use PayPal, but lazy Negroes kept talking about why I just can't make an online donation. Take your lazy ass to the post office and get a stamp. But anyway, they kept on bugging me, so I said, okay, let me do this PayPal. Now I called PayPal first and said, listen, I don't have tax exempt status yet.
Huh?
I won't have it to the end of the year. And I don't want y'all to freeze my account. If y'all going to freeze my account, I don't even want to start with PayPal. They told me you should be fine. Now check this out.
What it do?
We raised $25,000. PayPal don't say nothing. We raised $50,000. PayPal don't say nothing. We raised $100,000. PayPal don't say nothing. So when I get to $125,000, they freeze my damn account. I called them. I said, listen, can I talk to somebody about this? Because y'all told me this would not happen. Y'all know it take a while to get that tax exempt status from the IRS. I told y'all we're going to have it by the end of the year. In the meantime, I got over 200 people who have an automatic deduction on PayPal. I didn't even know this. But every day I'm seeing 25 payments skipped, payments skipped, payments skipped. These are automatic payments that our brothers and sisters set up through PayPal. Every day I'm seeing, I didn't even know people had that many automatic payments set up. Yeah, so we're losing money because PayPal got my damn account froze.
That was fraudulent.
And going to keep it frozen. They asking you about your money. Read that right quick. Okay. Oh, the money. Dr. Dre, 70 million.
So yeah, automatic deduction for people's accounts. Probably didn't want to set up like that whatsoever. And so that's why it probably got shut down. Like I said, I never said the man didn't have degrees and certifications and licenses, but it's just not current whatsoever. And said out of his own mouth that he's not certified licensed to practice as a certified school psychologist or a certified clinical psychologist. He can only give advice as a life coach. You know how that ended that St. Paul's College fiasco? Lied about. Because he didn't have the 501c3 status required for taxes in nonprofit organizations. Then he stated that he had applied for taxes and status because he didn't file the proper N990 paperwork or that's keeping up with the appropriate annual financial disclosure forms and material infrastructure documentation that you have to file on the regular every year. He didn't do that for 3 straight years, and they put that EIN nonprofit organization in verification status. However, rehabilitate either the historically black St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Virginia, or the Chamberlain Hunt Academy Ports gives him Mississippi. He has raised $375,989 in the 28 months since beginning his campaign. It does not include the cash he raised in person solicitations and speaking engagements, or the money has been mailed to him by supporters outside his online campaign. Let's see, any financial documentation whatsoever. No any kind of transparent accountability. No material infrastructure whatsoever. This. Or has used any of the funds he's misappropriated plenty of. No one has seen a business plan, an application of accreditation, or anything tangible in the case. He's making sure it was so far a mythical school. That's still the same thing. There is no application of accreditation certification from the Delaware State Department of Education and the Brandywine Newcastle School District, which he has authoritative jurisprudence over the actual plot of land he's on. That was actually a K-12 corporate entity before he purchased the school with $400,000 in donation money, other people's money. That's just like, according to his rules, all nonprofit organizations are required to make available for public inspection certain annual returns or applications. He has done none of those applications were not processed, well, by him anyway, not by the other side, because he never turned them in. Annual financial disclosure returns, like I said, material infrastructure documentation, and must provide copies of such returns applications and individuals request them. Plus, the IRS mandates that no part of the section of 501c3 organization's net earnings made in order to benefit any private shareholder or individual, even the founder. Since Johnson said he applied for tax since as 2015 and one asked for his final record, anything else would be just be unscrupulous. It is illegal for nonprofit to hide his fund. He's been doing that since forever. That's why I say he's been protected and isolated for so long, and it's continuing today. Research IRS that for Frederick Douglass Martin's Garbage School, we could find no record of John's application under either his name or the name of the school. There is a Frederick Douglass Mastery Charter School listed in Pennsylvania, but that's not it, or any variation of the name. And it's not a school, it's a nonprofit. Thousands of people will donate between $500,000 and since like they date like $3.5 million to this very scam right here, and different iterations of it. So this is not the earliest iteration. This is the latest. Claims it does to be a direct ancestor. Well, let's play this. So what did he say out of his own damn mouth? That's a lie. His dad told him to continues to perpetuate his dad keep lying about the shit. Oh yeah, I remember this. This nigga said he was related to Fred Ducks and Harriet Tubman. It's Black Anonymous. Shout out Black Anonymous for getting King Kong crazy, anti-Afros Bengals in honor. Make a change. Because I'm using their content and I really appreciate it. I hope you, like I said, I don't put a copyright disclaimer on it, but like I said, I would humbly ask if it's okay for me to use your content to, to speak my speech. Or let others, which they already have up there, let it be known that they are spoken their speech and it just needs to be seen. It's 2014 libations.
Right now. Peace and love, black families. The Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson. It is the 4th of July, 2014.
We're at the historic Fort Hill Cemetery, Auburn, New York, paying respect to the Queen of Queens, none other than Araminta Ross, a.k.a. Queen Mother Harriet Tubman, a.k.a. leader of the Underground Railroad, a.k.a. builder of the Old Folks Home for African Elders, a.k.a. a nurse in the Civil War, a.k.a. a spy in the Civil War, a.k.a. a scout in the Civil War. And so we paid respects earlier to the Honorable Frederick Douglass, my direct ancestor, and it's only fitting and it's only with respect that if we're gonna big up the masculine energy, we gotta big up the feminine energy. And we know that Queen Mother Harriet and Frederick Douglass were very, very good friends. Some even say may have been cousins, which means I'm related to Harriet Tubman. I ain't gonna even get into that right now. Okay? But we here and we're gonna go and pour libations over at the gravesite. We here with the Rochester family. We got the Syracuse family is in the building. Brother Jerry's in the building. Brother Hayru's in the building. We got Ross Simeon and Sister Twig from Syracuse in the building. So New York State is representing today. So we're gonna go handle our business over at the Shrine of the Queen Mother.
All right. Hold up.
A lot about being related. Both of them.
I want to dedicate these shirts to my brother, Dr.
Yes.
And you see the powerful design, man, the Benny mask, you know, that embody the spirit of the ancestors.
That's right. He buried the Caucasian
the African freedom fighter. And we bless him, you know what I mean? You know, that we doing it big. We got Huey.
Help him escape.
This one is Jerry from the Jerry Show. This is from the Jerry Show. Huey P. Newton.
Alright. Nothing take away from what that man Tom.
And notice the shirts are red, black, and green. We ain't got red, white, and blue over here.
His Majesty.
Ibrahim Selassie, our fellow Leo's in the building. Pan-African is in the building.
Yeah, we share the same birthday.
Oh, man.
23rd of July.
Oh, my goodness. Get out of here. July 23.
July 23.
Douglas.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's a Leo. That's a Leo.
Remember, I got Uncle Fred in the building.
presentation on him.
Where's my little...
Oh, man. We got Amos Wilson, the greatest black psychologist of all time, greatest scholar of all time, most practical scholar of all time, most underrated scholar of all time. Blueprint for Black Power, Awakening the Natural Genius of the African Children, Developmental Psychology of the African Child, Garveyism in the Age of Globalism, Black on Black adolescent male violence, Black on Black violence, a million DVDs, a million lectures. Amos was everything. I'm a child of Amos. Amos Wilson, never forget. We're going to have to visit his gravesite too one day. And then, of course, the Queen of Queens. We're at her gravesite now. Empress Araminta, a.k.a. Harriet Tubman, one of the greatest women to have ever lived. She is not the black Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc is the white Harriet Tubman. We always work from an African-centered perspective. We are never nobody else's incarnations. They are ours. So this is her. This was not long before she passed away. And for brothers and sisters who just came with us from the Harriet Tubman estate, the White House where you took the picture at, that's where this was taken. One of her last photos, that White House where we just took our photo, that's where she took this at. So that's her, the Queen Mother. And look at it, even in her old age, look at that face. She's still ready to go to war. In her late 90s.
Oh, that's right.
You see?
Look at the bottom.
And you know what? Oh, and she got the gun right there. Y'all see the gun? And what the Queen Mother Harriet said about the gun when the brother wanted to go back and abandon the Underground Railroad, she said, you go on and die because dead niggas tell no tales. That's right, you go on or you die because dead niggas tell no tales.
We still use that phrase right now.
That's right. You see what I'm saying? And one of the things that I respect about her so much, even when I look at her, Fred Douglass, Martin Delaney, Sojourner Truth, a lot of us are scared to speak out. A lot of us are scared to stand up because we're afraid of being shot, killed, imprisoned. Look how she put her life on the line and still lived to be nearly 100 years old. So that's a message in there that you don't know when you go. What they say in the Bible, that those who try to save their life will lose it. Okay? And those who lose their life may save it. I mean, this woman lived to be 100 years old, risked her life so many times. So you can't think that just because you're going to be a coward that you're gonna live long. You might still go down early.
Speaking of yourself so much more.
And she did it with a price in her hand and still hit 100 years old. God walked with this woman. This is what you talk about old time religion right here. What she say? She said, I used to talk to God. She said, whenever I got into an issue, I talked to God, and whenever I called on the Lord would get me out the situation. She said, yeah, I was almost captured several times. One time when you read the autobiography of Harriet Tubman, and you must read it, the one called Moses, written by Sarah Bradford. That's the one you want to read. That's the only autobiography that the Queen Mother approved of. And they wrote the autobiography to raise money for the elderly home that we just visited a minute ago. There was one time where the slave masters was on their back, and they had a baby, and the baby was crying. And Queen Mother, either her or one of the other sisters who was escaping to freedom, they had to go and hide in a swamp, and they had to take the baby under the water for about 10, 15 minutes. So they thought that by the time this over, this baby might be dead. They brought the baby up, baby still living, no problem. This is all in that autobiography. There was a situation in Troy, New York, where the slave catchers found a brother who ran away to freedom. They took him to court. Queen Mother Harriet Tubman, who was only like 95 pounds soaking wet, runs between the police, grabs this brother from the cops in the courthouse. You read this. Dragged him out the courthouse, put him in the back of a wagon, and they rushed him off to a creek. He hopped in the slave ship and got away. How many of us gonna run into a band of cops who got a brother handcuffed and snatch him away? That's what the woman did. Rastafari! We can do it. So much I can say about the lady. And then, when she was done with the Underground Railroad, she went into the Civil War. She was a nurse, a spy, a scout. She led troops in the battle during one battle. One battle, she was actual general. That's why we call her General Tubman. She was a general during one battle. And when that was over, she came back up here, built the old folks' home, fought for women, fought for the improvement of civil rights. Her and Frederick Douglass stayed in contact. I wish he would have married her instead of the white woman when he was old. That would have been a nice move.
There you go.
But yet still, I just love the example that the lady set forth. And for me, even though y'all know I big up Marcus Garvey and Fred Douglass, those are my two masculine archetypes. But this is my feminine one right here. She's my number one even before them right here. Because she did it all by herself with almost no recognition or none of that undercover. When you talk about giving without receiving recognition, that's her. She could have died at any time and you would have never even knew she lived. So Harriet Tubman, we could just take so many examples from her. So big up the family. We here in New York. Never forget July 4th, 2014. I'm going to be reading my ancestor speech a little later. What to the Negroes, the 4th of July. So we're going to get over to the grave, pour this libation, and get on back and get ready for the program. Ashe.
All right. Let's back to it. From that. Okay. This is April 18, 2016. That Umar slave ship. He can tell you 100% certainty. That being said, this way, blood relative, nucleus reference designed to make people think he is a descendant. Descendant. We have researched this explanation of being a blood relative to the great abolitionist. Some of the information he provides is accurate, but an extremely important piece of his explanation regarding his documented relative of Frederick Douglass is false. The information he cites correctly is from the public record. So his knowledge of our family, his knowledge of ancestry is far from definitive proof. Official definitive tree is held cards for Douglas. Natural Resource site in Washington, D.C. Mr. Johnson's name is not on it. Let's see. Okay. Okay. No, sorry. Thank you, Anna. Multi-million-dollar question. It is impossible to prove a negative, just as you can't prove that I'm not a Jedi. The X-Man who possesses ability to fight, even if you have no evidence I can prove, which I start out of psychology. Find proof that he holds a doctorate in psychology, but school judge claims he attended for his doctorate at the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, also participates in the National Student Clearinghouse. He could have heard of the name variation of the name Umar Abdullah Johnson or Johnson's birthday and Jermaine Shoemake. Every doctoral candidate must submit a dissertation to become a student. This is available online. When they look through the university archives, you find a link to Umar Johnson's dissertation relationship between self-concept, academic achievement, African American middle school students, and a correlation study. But unlike other dissertations, Johnson's was not available for download. But again, when we look into the graduation program September 2010, the year dissertation was submitted, he was not listed in the commencement program. And when you click on that right there, let's watch this. They scrubbed it. Downloaded the graduation ceremony program for 2010. Yes, it went through, processed through, but it's just like pulling up the actual visuals. It's another matter entirely. So it's too slow on this particular phone. So I'm just pretty much just take their word for it. He was not listed in the commencement program, even though he appears in the 2009 program as a doctoral candidate. In fact, we cannot find evidence that Johnson graduated from PCOM. Mysteriously, PDF file of the program of very commencement exercise at the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine is available online, except for the year Johnson supposed to graduate. In addition, 99% of the students who received the doctorate from PCOM have their dissertation available online, but Johnson is not. Multiple videos of his graduation ceremony online. The school has cataloged them on YouTube and a playlist. Everyone except someone has submitted a copyright infringement claim for the only graduate service. You see that? And she's being protected tremendously. And that's no coincidence there, because again, but that's not him. Because again, if you look at his actual paperwork, when he actually got his degree from Millersville, not from PCOM or from Lehigh, right? Not from PCOM. The guy was actually named Umar Johnson, who's dead now. He was an Arab man from Yemen, was married. I can pull him up. Yeah. He actually had 6 degrees and actually did graduate from PCOM. But if they were to show that Umar Johnson, it wouldn't be the neuromelanated version of Umar Johnson. It'd be the Arabic Caucasianized version of Umar Johnson. That's why it's not like it. The YouTube in the playlist. It's been a copyright infringement claim. You'll find it. Same thing as I stated previously in the PDF file. Just says a dissertation not available online because it's not his dissertation. It's the Arabic man's. The one was born September 7th, 1980. And is deceased now. He died in 2017. I'll show you that. It would prove he graduated PCOM as doctorate have apparently disappeared from the internet as either the biggest coincidence in the history of histories, or he just may not have a doctoral degree. He doesn't. His hospital believed that I was the Hotel Charlie when I walked onto the set of a Roland Martin show. I've had my degree and a transcript. When I showed up at the Breakfast Club studio, or the Breakfast Fraud, I had certified financial breakdowns of where people's donations went, but they didn't care about that. The Breakfast Fraud is not there for that. For actual logical sensible things that help empower us as people. They're not there for that. The fact is that he will not do this is Donald Trump tax return level strange. Yeah, that's the same thing. It's like a new melanated version of Donald Trump and runs the women at a Dutch last page just like Trump does, or the Trump. But the Trump is, well, you already seen my previous videos and my other channels before they got disabled about what he does. I'm not saying that Jermaine Shoemaker is a lying comment. He is that. He stole money from his own people, many of whom are poor but hopeful. But just because no human being, just because no human being on the planet Earth has seen his doctorate, I also would never tell people that they shouldn't trust Johnson simply because they haven't seen trace evidence regarding where their donations go, or because he cites solid facts that are opposite the truth. Although I think somewhere in 4th Thessalonians, that you should never trust a man who wakes up in the morning and shaves his mustache off. And maybe when he gives a speech about living black women, I'll never remind you of this tweet. Wait. Oh, wait. So, why isn't it contacting every woman I know starving for the cosign to a character assassination campaign? Oh, this is Chantel Ron Beatty, the one that exposes ass plenty times. Thank you for your response. We heard here in the U.S. you may have problems with Dr. Umar Johnson. How his financial records being less open, paying to traveling around the country convincing people, many of the poor, educated, he's on the other side. Now traveling around the country, the world too. Maybe he's colluding with Russians. Okay. And after he got eviscerated on the Roland Martin show, and pretty much got called out for his larceny and the fraudulence and criminality. Well, they didn't really call him as criminality, but scamming and the conmanship. And you can't find that anymore, but this is what he did. So he got ambushed. What he kind of did, well, you should have known better. So look, he took the post down within an hour yesterday of posting it. If someone questions your credibility based upon information that cannot be proven or verified, then you are a coon. Even when you are already familiar with the question that are going to be asked, you still want to claim that you've been ambushed. Stop. I go here. You can pause and read at your own leisure. They never gave a government issue picture ID from that at all, from that official record. Rashad Abdullah Johnson, because remember, it was Umar Abdullah Johnson, not Rashad.